And what are some of the interventions that we can do, and what are some of the lifestyle decisions that we can make so we can be able to protect ourselves from heart disease? And as you can see on the screen, it says, take charge of your heart. Many a times we forget to do that. We forget to take charge of our heart. We take it for granted that we can be able to breathe and the heart is functioning properly. We never give it a thought. And on the screen, you can see the number of deaths due to cardiovascular diseases globally. And you can see in Europe, it's more than 4 million. Africa is more than 1 million, as you can see there. Southeast Asia, you can see the statistics there, more than 3 million. Western Pacific, more than 4 million. So you can see heart disease is a major, major issue. More than 17 million people around the world usually die because of heart diseases. Now, what are some of the risk factors that cause heart disease? Number one is high blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, chances are high you might get a heart disease. High cholesterol levels, smoking, physical inactivity, diabetes, abdominal obesity, and poor diet. Abdominal obesity, I must emphasize there because I'm a man and you are very prone to that, has proved to be a risk factor for so many diseases. Remember, we had the discussion about insulin resistance, and it came out very prominently. So these are some of the risk factors that are there. And one of the major, major causes, of course, is our diet. When you don't eat right, then we are more prone to getting lifestyle diseases. When we eat our pyramid upside down, we tend to eat more fats and sugars, a lot of proteins, very little fruits and vegetables, and extremely little in the way of whole grain. When you tend to eat a lot of processed foods, the nice, like today is Sunday, most people consider it a cheat day, so they do burgers, they do soda, they do pizza, the real junk. When we eat like that, then we are predisposing ourselves to getting heart problems. And many of us take it for granted. We don't really consider too much. If you look at the food that is on the screen, the kanyama choma there, the nice food in quotes, a bit of beer right there. These are some of the things that can actually cause you to end up having heart problems. Now, moving on there, we want to look at how can we resolve this? How can we resolve this? And you are only as healthy as your cells. You are only as healthy as your cells. And our bodies have between 75 to 100 trillion cells in our body. And these cells receive nutrients from the food that they give us. They get nourishment, they give us protection, repair, and renewal. This is how a healthy cells operate. Now, let's look at what happens when the cells are, and how can we be able to ensure cells are functioning properly. That has provided us a very, very exciting solution for this in the way of Pro Vitality. Pro Vitality, like we all know, has TNN, it has carotenoid, it has salmon, and it has minerals. And what those combined nutrients do, they ensure that the cell membrane is very healthy. They feed the cell with nutrients, and they enable waste to go out. And when you're taking Pro Vitality, your cells are functioning at peak levels. You'll be more energetic. You'll be very excited about life. Your body will be functioning the way God intended it to function when you're taking Pro Vitality Plus. And this is especially so because our diet is wanting, like we said earlier. And these are the benefits of Pro Vitality: abundant energy, antioxidant protection, heart health, immune strength, healthy brain, flexible joints, clear vision, youthful skin, lifelong cellular health. Yeah. And definitely when you're on Pro Vitality, you are protecting your body from disease. Now, let's look at the challenges that affect the heart. The first one is high blood pressure. And this is pressure applied to the walls of the heart. And where does pressure come from? Or what happens for you to be said that you have high blood pressure? What are some of the causes of hypertension? Some of the causes of hypertension, if you can go to the next slide there, back one step. If you look at some of the causes of high blood pressure, we had talked about them earlier. Having a sedentary lifestyle where you just sit, you're not very active physically, you don't do physical exercises, eating food that has too much cholesterol. Cholesterol is good, but if you overindulge in foods that have too much cholesterol, your nyama choma and all those things, then you run the risk, if you eat too much of that stuff, then you run the risk of developing plaque in your artery. Blood is not able to flow. So the heart strains in pumping blood around the body. And that's why you get some of these problems like high blood pressure. I always equate it to a pump. When you're using a pipe to water your garden, if you go to the nozzle of the pipe and you press it and you constrain it a bit, the water comes out with a lot of pressure. That is what happens to our arteries when we get too much cholesterol in, it builds up on the side and blood is unable to move. When the blood is too thick with too much cholesterol, so blood is not able to move. So the heart is forced to pump so hard to be able to push blood around the body. And that's why we say that you have gotten high blood pressure. And together with that, now we get other issues like the enlarged heart, whereby you find that this can actually lead to heart failure if it is not managed properly. If the pressure in the heart becomes too much, then it can lead to heart failure. And that also moves on, and you can get into other, this is actually what I was looking for, the causes of hypertension, magnesium deficiency, toxin exposure, cholesterol, antioxidant deficiencies, stress response. If you are living a very stressful lifestyle, then definitely you may run a risk of getting heart problems. Too much salt intake, especially the white salt that we buy from the shops. If you can be able to switch from the white salt and go to the pinkish salt, the Himalayan, and there's the other salt, Celtic salt, Celtic salt. These are some of the good salt options that are there. And my mom was actually advised against using adding salt at the table or using the white salt because when her pressure was unmanageable. So nutritionally, what should you be eating to sort out your pressure issues? Of course, calcium and magnesium is very, very important. The magnesium strengthens the heart muscles so that they can be able to put blood around the body. Calcium relaxes the heart. So, and you see the heart by expanding and contracting, you need both. You need something that will enable the expansion and the contraction. And the combination of calcium and magnesium is able to do that. Omega-3 fatty acids, for obvious reasons, to ensure that you manage the amount of cholesterol in your arteries. You need antioxidants. You need garlic. Garlic thins blood, so blood is able to flow smoothly in your body. Then you need to eat a lot of whole grains. So these are some of the nutritional support issues that you need to ensure that your heart is functioning properly. When you come to the Neolife products for hypertension, what should you give? Now, you can take a screenshot of this so that it can help you when you are faced with that question of what do I need to take when when you get somebody with hypertension. Numbers on that list is garlic, helium. I mentioned it helps to thin blood, enables blood to flow smoothly. Omega-3 salmon, I've talked about omega-3 salmon. calcium, magnesium, very, very important. Vitamin E enables blood to flow around the body. Proper blood circulation is enhanced by vitamin E. Fiber tablets and botanical balance. These ones are very, very critical. We saw last week, and even the session that was done by Betty Olo about insulin resistance, that you need to balance your sugar levels in the body so that you can control the amount of insulin that your body is producing. Because when your body has too much insulin in the body, then it can trigger hypertension. And most people oscillate between hypertension and diabetes. So you find that doctors call it the two sisters. So you find that if you have diabetes, then chances are high it's only a matter of time before you get hypertension. And if you have hypertension, it's only a matter of time before you get diabetes. So that is why those two products are very, very critical there. Again, fiber tablets helps in controlling the amount of cholesterol in your arteries. So that's very, very important. So moving on there, we now look at another issue that comes in the body, excess cholesterol. Like I said, there's good cholesterol and there's bad cholesterol. Bad cholesterol is a plaque that blocks the arteries. It prevents blood from flowing in the veins. And you find that now there's too much of cholesterol plaque happening, and blood is not able to flow smoothly, and the heart is straining to pump blood around the body. So what is the solution for that? The solution for that, in terms of this, just shows you what we have just discussed. But the products that we need there again are fiber tablets, omega-3 salmon, vitamin E, garlic allium, and one other product that we've added there, lipotropic adjunct. Now, what is lipotropic? Lipotropic is a product that has B12, B6, folic acid. These are B group vitamins. And then it has lipotropic factors. What lipotropic factors do, they are actually fat burning. They burn fat. They aid the body in burning fat internally. And when you take lipotropic, it not only helps in burning the fat and removing the bad cholesterol, it also helps to strengthen your arteries. The B group vitamins are very, very important for ensuring that your stress levels are also maintained. So lipotropic is a product that we all need to go on. I've used lipotropic on so many people, especially where palpitations are concerned. It actually sorts you out, or irregular heartbeat. People with irregular heartbeat, lipotropic does a wonderful, wonderful job. Of course, the last product there is carotenoid complex for boosting your immunity, and it also aids in fat metabolism. So we can move on there. And the next thing that we have is excess homocysteine. And homocysteine, this is an amino acid found in the blood that we get usually from eating a lot of meat, especially red meat. High levels can develop into heart disease and weak bones and diabetes. So you need to check your homocysteine levels because homocysteine is responsible for several problems, dementia and Alzheimer's disease, pregnancy complications, lack of concentration and underachievement, diabetes, osteoporosis, cardiovascular heart disease. So we need to check our homocysteine levels. And like I said earlier, it is caused by eating too much red meat, especially the nyamachomas. But red meat, you're supposed to eat a maximum of 50 grams a day. And if you're exceeding that, then you might be asking for trouble. Now, what are the products for that again? Vitamin B complex, lipotropic adjunct, omega-3 salmon, and carotenoid complex. And that will actually sort out your homocysteine issues. So, what can we say about this? We need to take charge of our heart. We need to take charge of our heart. Neolife has given us wonderful, wonderful products that can actually be able to sort us out as far as heart health is concerned. And if we move on there, you can see a summary of the products that you have talked about, that are very, very important for your heart. And like we always say, don't wait until you're sick. Take these products right now so that you can protect yourself from getting sick in later years. And just to ensure that your blood is flowing smoothly, like they say, a stitch in time saves nine. So if you take these products today, and we have added a product there, CoQ10, I don't know that you've noticed. CoQ10 actually helps all your internal organs to function properly because CoQ10 goes into the cell, it goes into the mitochondria, and the mitochondria is the engine of the cell. So it helps in production of energy. So if your kidneys are failing and you take CoQ10, your kidneys will come back and start functioning properly. If you have brain problems, if you have Alzheimer's, if you have heart issues, the CoQ10 will sort you out. Anything and everything that has to do with your internal organs. When you take CoQ10, even your eyes, cognitive health, when you take CoQ10, it's just a wonderful product. And that's why it has been added to that. And as I was saying, take time, invest in securing your heart, ensuring that your heart functions properly for the long term, and that by consuming these products. When you're not unwell, you can actually be able to buy the products. This month you can buy omega-3 and calmag. Next month you can buy vitamin E. You can buy Pro Vitality. As in, you can play around with them, but you're taking these products. And the challenge comes when we think that we are eating well, so we are not having a problem. My diet is good, and we are eating the normal diet. We are taking the chips and the sausages, and we are taking we are eating the normal diet that everybody is eating. And the food that we are eating is coming from soils which are impoverished, where chemicals have been used. And many people, especially when you're in Nairobi, you don't even know where the food has been planted. You buy it from the market, you don't know where it has come from. So you're not sure nutrients that it's supposed to have. Many carrots don't have vitamin A because the soils where they were planted was devoid of those minerals. So instead of taking chances with your health, invest in yourself. Make a step right now. Start using these products. Protect yourself from disease. But if you already have the condition, then you can use the products and you can be able to sort it out. So prevent a broken heart. Now, before I conclude this session, I had a guest speaker. I don't know whether she's on the call amidst the mishap with the link and all that. Let me see if I can get her. Can anybody see Frida on the call? Maybe she was not able to zoom in. Can you be able to see Frida on the call? Patricia or Lydia or...
No, she's not. Let me see whether I can be able to raise her.
Okay, fantastic. As Lydia is doing that, I just want to mention briefly, because heart health is an issue that we dealt with as a family, because my mom was diagnosed with high blood pressure at a very early age. I was still very young. And for her, she was told by the doctor that what caused her pressure were family planning drugs. She was on the usual family planning regimen that most ladies use, and that is what actually caused her pressure. And she was trying to use, we tried to use several things. She was on medication. She was using the regular medication. She was using mitini dawa. There's a herbalist who was giving us a mitini dawa somewhere in Donholm. Then we also were trying acupuncture to just try and sort it out, because the drugs by themselves were not working. They would control our pressure for a while, But if she stood for more than an hour, her legs would start swelling, she would start coughing, and she would get into her feet, and usually it would actually end up in hospital. So we were in that kind of situation, and it was very, very stressful because by nature of the heart issues are very sensitive. You are not sure whether the person is going to make it. And when the attack came, we would all rush to try and sort out. And somewhere along the way, she decided to go and start working from up country. So she relocated, went up country, and she actually um, became a teacher up country, and we were in Nairobi. So it became even more complicated now when she would fall sick, because now we have the way to sort it out. And when I got involved in New Life, they were my guinea pigs. I put her on the products of New Life, and she started using the products of that we've just shared right now. And it took about, I would say, between 4 to 6 months for her pressure to stabilize, because she stopped coughing, her legs stopped swelling. She would teach for long hours, she would not get an attack. And later she retired from teaching. And before that, she could not even go into the farm to do anything strenuous, even lifting a table. Her pressure would shoot. Yeah. But after using the products, let me tell you, her pressure stabilized. We stopped the acupuncture, we stopped the herbal things. The doctor kept reducing her drug. It reached a point whereby she was just being given one tablet per day, and it became on and off. Yeah. And to date, she goes for checkups, for regular checkups, and her pressure is stable. I mean, her pressure, we've not discussed issues to do with pressure for more than 20 years in our family. And yes, I know medics say that one doesn't get healed from pressure. But if you can be able to live a normal life, your quality of life is not impaired um, because of the disease, then for me, I would say you are as near to being healed as possible. I have several customers that I've dealt with who have had pressure issues. And uh, I have seen situations whereby, uh, especially those whose conditions were not that serious, I've seen situations whereby they have actually gotten off medication 100%, and they are living a normal life because of using our products. Of course, that is under the guidance of the doctor. It's not themselves who woke up one day and said, "Oh, I've stopped medication." No, that's not the idea. And supplements do not replace drugs under any situation. But this is a situation whereby somebody is under the constant care of a medic, and his medicines are reduced because his pressure is stable. And with the advice of the doctor, they reach a point whereby they are not using um, they're not using drugs, but are just surviving on supplements. So I have had clients like those, and who are living a normal life because of our products. So our products do work. Now, I can see somebody asking me, which products do you recommend for pressure? I suspect you're talking about blood pressure. The basic ones, like we've said, is TNN, omega-3, CalMag, lipotropic. Those are basic. The four of them, TNN, omega-3, CalMag, and lipotropic. Those are basic products. But you can add others like CoQ10, which is very, very important for that. Garlic allium, vitamin E, that is also very important. For my mom, what we've done and what we continue to do is that we keep giving her the constant ones are TNN, omega-3, CalMag, and lipotropic. Those are constant. But we keep adding others like vitamin E. Sometimes we give her garlic, sometimes CoQ10. So we keep playing around with that just to ensure that she's getting the full program that she requires. And we have not slackened our guard. We still put her on the products because she's over 80 years of age. She should be going to 84 if I'm not wrong. And at that age, you want her to be strong. But what excites me about her is that she's very, very energetic. You walk with her, you'll be running to catch up with her. She moves extremely fast. And I thank God. I just thank God for Neolife products. They do wonders. They do wonders. And the good thing about them is that they are natural, they're organic, they don't have any chemical, they don't have any synthetic material. You cannot overdose on them. Like the omega-3 I've just talked about, my kids started taking it when they were 1 day old. When I was growing up, my mom gave me cod liver oil. She gave me 7 C's. We used to hate it a lot, but we would take it by force, by fire, with a cane. She always had a cane, and you had to take it, especially if you presented a cold, any symptoms that had to do with a cold, you had to swallow those things. And I remember she would even mix it with raw egg, and you are forced to swallow that thing, but you swallow within 2 3 days, your cold is gone. And I can tell you, um, that worked for us. And for me, that is why I put my kids on omega-3 salmon uh, from day one, because the modern day parent does not supplement their children. Yet we know very well, and even when you are expectant, you are given supplements because your body needs supplements. There is no debate about that. I don't think there is anybody on this call whose mom was not given supplements when she was expectant. And those that whose parents were not given supplements or who never took them seriously, many of them were born with what we call spina bifida, where you have a kid that has a big head because of lack of folic acid, especially, which is one of the supplements that you're given when you're expectant. So there's no doubt that we need supplements. And when the kid is born, that kid needs to continue on supplements because the diet that we give them is devoid of so many nutrients, which are very, very important for them. I can see somebody asking a question here. What if a person has both diabetes and pressure? Yes, the program is the same. You give TRNN, omega-3, CalMag, and lipotropic, but you can add their botanical balance and fiber tablets so that you can be able to deal with the pressure, with the sugar issues, and that person is good to go. So you can combine those two programs and they will sort out both diabetes and also sort out the pressure issues that the person is having. Of course, there are more products for diabetes because if you go to the diabetic program, the full program will have fiber, botanical, Neolife shake, CoQ10, very, very important for diabetes. Of course, TRNN has to be there as well. But if somebody has both, so that you don't load them too much with products, you can consider adding fiber and botanical balance to the program for pressure, and that will sort out both diabetes and pressure. Okay, so let's see. I don't know that Lydia has been able to get our speaker or not.
You can end the meeting, Fred.
Oh, she's not able to join in. Okay.
Yes.
So well, it was a pleasure talking to you guys. I want to congratulate everybody who zoomed in, all the 42 members on this call. And I want to really, really give you a shout out and congratulate you. The fact that you are here, that shows leadership. We had serious challenges, but you fought through and you came on this platform. I don't take it for granted. That is leadership. Those are leaders. To be here with those challenges that we had and to stay up to the end shows that you're a true leader. Tomorrow is a public holiday, and for those of us who are training at Phoenix House, we will be having a distribution